Hi, everyone. My name is Eliana Piapalua. My partner's name is Jasmine Rodriguez. She made the slides, and I will be giving the mini presentation on how to use the grant writing resource that we've shared with you. If you're watching this, it means you are starting out as a grant writer for the San Fernando Valley Children's Refugee Children's Center, or the RCC. And it means that you are ready to learn how to write grants for this organization. So this is the table of contents, what I'm going to be talking about throughout the course of this presentation. I'm going to give a little introduction into what this resource is all about and why Jasmine and I made it. And then I'll go into each of the folders in the file, in the drive, and what type of information you'll be able to find under each file. So first, Jasmine and I made this resource because we thought it would be helpful to those starting out as grant writers for the organization that might not know very much about grant writing or might be pretty new to it. Jasmine and I were pretty new to it when we started out, and once we got the hang of it, we thought it would be pretty cool or pretty helpful to have a resource for everyone else like us that might be starting out as a grant writer. So the first file in the drive that you'll see is the background information tab. Under this file, you'll find a lot of important company information, such as when the organization was founded, by who. You'll be able to find our official mission and vision statement, as well as several pieces of information, pieces of government information. For example, what our 501c3 status is. You'll also be able to find some contact information for all of the staff at RCC. This information is pretty important, as several grants will ask for a lot of logistical information. They'll need to know contact information. They'll need to know some basic government information. And if not all, most grants that you'll be applying to will ask for information about the departments at RCC. So you'll be able to find information on each of the departments we have at RCC and all of the services that we provide there as well. The next file you'll see is Grant Writing 101. This one is just really basic information on what grant writing is, what types of organizations give out grants, what types of organizations can apply for grants. It's really, really basic information into what grant writing is. We hope that this file will be really helpful to you guys in alleviating some of the stress you might have and helping you get down to the bare, most basic definition of what grant writing is and why it's important. The next file you'll see is a vocabulary terms file. In this file, we have kind of like a glossary of several terms that you might see working for a nonprofit organization like RCC. So we have some general vocabulary terms like, the basic definition of nonprofit organization. And then we have some, really terms kind of tailored to the RCC, like EIN, Federal Tax ID, DBA. You'll be able to find the definitions for these words as well as the Spanish translation for them. The next file you'll see is the grant writing examples. Under this file, we have several real-life questions and answers that past RCC employees have answered when applying to prior grants. So you'll find real-life examples of grant questions as well as the answer that the RCC employee provided for that question. We found this really, really helpful to us because it is helpful to see what other employees, other professionals have answered for several grant questions. Under this file, you'll also see an example of a letter of interest. It's pretty important to familiarize yourself with LOIs because several grants that you will be applying to require an LOI before you apply for their grant. The next file you'll see is the grant writing tips file. This one is kind of just a fun list of several tips that Jasmine and I put together that we found helpful throughout our interning at RCC that we think might be helpful to someone like us starting out as grant writing. So these tips are pretty general, but then there are several tips that are specifically tailored to the RCC. We also have on another document under this file provided live links to resources for grant writing. We hope this resource that we've created has made grant writing a little less scary. We hope that through the process of learning and doing and learning and doing, you'll come to find that grant writing is much less intimidating than you might expect. And we hope that this resource proves to be pretty helpful to all of you starting out as grant writers for the RCC. Let us know if you have any questions. Feel free to email us or email your administrative department at the time that you're working. For us, it's Frida Aldapa, but for you, it might be someone different. And now I will be just showing you how to work your way around the grant writing resource itself. Just take a second. Okay, so I'm opening up. So here you can see the different tabs. You've got the grant writing examples, grant writing 101, we've got the vocabulary tab, and the background information, as well as volunteer grant writing resource. This is where the menu presentation will be. So I'm going to open up the vocabulary tab right now by just double clicking on it. And you have the glossary that I mentioned previously in the presentation. Under grant writing examples, you've got some examples of a letter of interest, as well as several questions and answers of past grants that RCC has applied to. Good luck to everyone, and I hope that this resource is really helpful to all of you.